This is how residents of the Nshobwasi chased and pounced on poor Major Adam Mahama on May 29, 2017. They took him for a criminal because some women traders along the Diaso-Nshobwasi road had sighted a sidearm on him and raised alarm.
On May 29, 2017, an innocent soul, a senior military officer who was on a morning jogging, was murdered in cold blood on suspicion of he being an armed robber. He had his last breath here. This war, until now, was filled with the blood of the late Major Mahama, but it has been under the harsh weather condition, so the blood has been washed away.
This is now Okuta pistol.
I vividly remember it was a Monday, 29th of May. I left office around 9:30 a.m. for Dunkwao for an emergency meeting. Then around 10:15, whilst I was there, I received numerous calls that armed robbers have besieged the Nshobwasi highway. So I called my station officer, Chief Inspector Eboa, that this is the information. He should mobilize men and proceed to the scene immediately. Now, while still at Dunkwao, about 30 minutes later, my station officer called me and said, "Master, we've gotten to the scene. Now, the alleged armed robber has been tortured to death, and they even attempted burning the body. So, as our procedure, we have to remove the body and then send it to the nearest government hospital. Keep it for further investigation."
Angered by the gruesome murder of their commander, soldiers stormed the Nshobwasi in a door-to-door dawn swoop on May 30, 2017.
At about 7 p.m., I was still in office with some of my men. Then 3 soldiers came in uniform. Now we have a military detachment at Diasu here. So the 3 who came were from that detachment. Their story was that their detachment commander, he gave his name as Captain Mahama. He left their barracks in the morning around 7 a.m. for a jogging and had still not returned. But according to the 3 soldiers that came, they also heard that an alleged armed robber was killed at the Nshobwasi and the body had been sent to the government hospital mortuary. So they traced to the hospital and found the body, unfortunately, to be their military, their detachment commander. So in fact, we were all shocked. How come a military officer could be tortured to death in such a heinous manner?
Over 200 residents, including children, were picked up for screening. Some of them were brutalized, forcing many to flee into nearby bushes. The district chief executive Daniel Apienin was angered by the development.
My worry was that something of this sort has happened. Military men, huge numbers, get into the town, just arresting people. If you testify, some of the guys that you could see that they've received some kind of torture or some beatings. You could see from some of the bruises. So whilst we are all not happy with what has happened, I thought that we could have started investigation straight away. because military men parading there in their huge numbers like that, I understand them. They feel for their brother. But I thought it was harsh. It's an impression created. That means saying that those military men here, I don't have any, or I don't know the presence of any security military men to fight small scale man. I'm in a way defending the killing. And I think I find it awkward. You understand? When issues happen, we must try to understand the basis and get further information. It will help us a lot. We must know how those military men come to the forest to protect people who are mining. All those issues might have to come in. But other than that, you will not even have been here to even go and jog and meet. So all these issues we have to talk about.
Mr. Piani's call for investigations into the operations of the military team based at Amenase landed him in trouble. He was suspended on June 1, 2017, and Ashen residents protested.
Then Shroboase then, now New Oboase, which is also in the Upper Denshire West District Assembly. That's what I'm saying. That immediately after the murder, a statement was made by the DC Chief Executive then, Honorable Apieni, and immediately he made that statement. It was described, you saw it as being politically myopic. It was a short-sighted statement he made. So it caused his suspension. And from that time, development projects came to a halt. Reason is that meetings were not going on, executive meetings were not held. Before assembly takes any decision, it must pass through some processes. There will be subcommittee meetings, there will be executive meetings before endorsement of all that, and all that stopped. So I would say that initially there was no development project within the period.
The president,
President Akufo-Addo, who is Commander-in-Chief of Ghana Armed Forces, visited the Nshobwase on August 7, 2017, 3 months after the incident, and gave residents some reprieve.
Now, 1 minute silence in memory of Major Maxwell Adamo Mahama. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed rest and abide in the bosom of the Lord until the last day of the resurrection, when we shall all meet again. Amen.
He promised residents of government support and love whilst investigations continue.
Manabani said, Dinchobwase, Ebeji Dimbone, our man Ghana. Maybe I'm Kosovo Mua, and if we are Bano, Sa, and yellow. Police for, judge for, lawyer for, and they know 1 year bonino, 80. And yeah, man for Prequania, sorry, hey, they be a yellow sir. The pet is our Ghana. 1 year, Mama, and brother no air, yet, yes, see no yet. There no chance of more Macano so no. Nina about the camo. They might find the yes, I net here. Yes, I net here. 1 year, Bonino. The Bonino was 1 in a year, and rather than 1 day. Nipa Cano. Moka Ghana for home. Moka Ghana for home. Maba, say me babe shamon crying. So they see it, a buying Ghana, a buyer, and then men are down on you. You're in.
I am back at Denchroboase 1 year after the incident. The town roads have received a facelift, but the memory of the gruesome murder of the military officer is still fresh on the minds of the people.
It's been exactly 1 year since the late Major Mahama was murdered in cold blood here in New Obuasi. This is the exact spot that he had his last breath. Let me find out from you, Chief, how does it feel to be here at this point in time in memory of the late Major Mahama?
Personally, I feel very sad to be here this afternoon because this reminds me of that pathetic memory of one of the gruesome murder that had never been heard of until that unfaithful day, May 29, 2017.
Father of 8, Yaunyameche, owns this house.
I'm sure say babies are happy. Now was sign better. Since a nice over share, it almost move fast and with Johnny Adam pass me by blog one good. I am there on the done. Blog will go the dog is here. Not just a corner and a mammy honamon ye papa send it to me. I had to meet my traffic.
He was away when the mob attacked and killed the late Major Maswelata Mahama in the outyard.
He said, Sabe, number ha, Abia, and God has imagined, and I be so an was one to be crying, Miss Mifri. He said, me shut down yet, a crew back, but he mean free her. By saying, me hearing free her, and I'm my eyes as if you are me and a fool. The case in our opinion, any idea, number of feet. I don't know, and I'm running by, and another door no suspect to say, I say, I said, any evidence. So, our manners are any case in happy, I don't know, movement night now. And a baby bath will say, yes, it's any pan crown on my bed a garden. I bear money 20. I was home to me actually, and the tear on mine. The bath answer bass, come away now. You be a far, no way afar. You will man, you compare a bit not. You will be near and say, wow, Johnny, wow, man. Or say, yes, I'm a foul. There's a bar. You buy an idea, it's a bar match. Buy an as I wrote some. In all my bay, and I'll be a pie. Tina, so for no more by no more bomb pie, and you know, quite so the free or coroner, it's me now.
Residents of Denchroboase are still haunted by the incident. The thought of how that innocent man was chased up and overpowered still lingers. This is the same spot where the residents, led by the assemblyman, William Barr, had guarded for communal labor.
Communal labor, no. And no information say, Bema bin am kwan so ba. Omo said the all year na, and they said the action now we show na. Almost say be obey armed robber. Na before then, na a day before, na armed robbing case a siwo. Yankwanti haya. Inti omu dwane tutu wuram. Inti no mu say bia ebi na aba be pie e wo sa area ho. Inti omu frɛ assemblyman ene omu ano mo ye adwuma no. Edom na ano mo ye communal labor ni nyina bi koi. But nyo omu nyina na ekɔ ho. Na edom ni bi nso wo ekrum. Inti omu tiri sa information na o say omu kɔ. Because asem si a obi ti he kra o hye ni fie kra obi pie. Asem esi ye de nso anso bɔne abrɛ. If you say ama ekro no empuntu nyina akachi dwumadi ane de nsa asoma ye nyina sisi a agiegu sisi a no obi ani wa ofre ne se omlama ma adwuma kora obeba ana committee for ye adwuma se committee for nyina ne omu nyina nso enye se adwuma no bio eti ama ekro na nkasa no uyi ohene free ho a leaders akamu no atompan.
Despite several assurances from President Akufo-Addo, police and the military, residents still live in fear. Every moment of their life reflects the painful and sordid past, as echoes by the chief linguist, Nana Kwabena Asare. He says they are determined to hand over wanted suspects over to the law if they find them.
The kaya pa titre e wodi eya. Sabi obi ahwe ne ba wadu sam pempensui na wonam ne ba bi na ye gye de kra free ne nsam tie ende ayoro ho eno pa ho a ekrom aforo nso enipa ne bia Sabe, yenim se bia adwumi saa eni wo mutrim. Ya wo so ato wo na yakodi aban kuku. Ama nso kai bribia no. Wonua ni won nchen. Ti ma wo kai na wo agrobo.
The negativity, the negative tag that was even attached to us was enough for the people in Denchira West to at least learn a better lessons from some of these things. That even if you have a criminal, at least you have to send that criminal to a police station. As we are marking the painful 1-year anniversary, as people, we have learned our lessons, and I'm very sure the people, not only the people of New Obuasi, but the whole of the Upper Denchira West District, all the communities around the district are going to learn their lessons. The youth especially, I'm sure when next there is issue of that nature, they will quickly run to the police or any other security agencies and inform them.
A man known to be full of life by the many that interacted with him. For his family, he was simply a father, while for the many soldiers who were under his command, he was a true officer and a gentleman. A decorated officer of the 5th Battalion Infantry of the Ghana Armed Forces, Major Maxwell Mahama fought for his life at the hands of the very citizens he had sworn to protect. The captain's last fight remains one brutal episode in his short life that is a scar on the conscience of the nation. It therefore came as no surprise when hundreds thronged the State House to join his family, bid him farewell. It was a solemn moment, tough for the family. For so many of the mourners, the memory of the murder of the soldier played back in their minds as his killers hounded him with stones.
The years ahead will be full of memories, but I wanted more than just memories. It's fine, I'll manage. Rest in perfect peace. I love you.
A wife broken beyond consolation, she mustered courage to speak to a nation stricken by grief. Grief that cries out that no other person should suffer such loss, and also for vengeance. On that day, a dark cloud covered the entire nation. So intense was the pain that many couldn't hold back their tears.
This relationship started right from his birth, because being our first child,
his comrades in arms paid their last respect. At his death, Major Mahama received so many salutes both from the rank and file of the army that he did in his entire life. Even before the tears dried from the eyes of the mourners, a chorus of vengeance was heard in the voices of many who couldn't accept the death of the young captain. For many, a quick resolution of the matter could help the family put the tragic incident behind them.
I am a part of the family. Maxwell is my nephew, and I feel very sad at what has happened. I believe that government and the security agencies will do everything possible to bring the perpetrators of this dastardly act to book.
Where did we go wrong and have to go so far to kill, smash, blocks, etc., only to discover he's an innocent officer?
But all those who did what they did to him, they will face justice and face their Almighty God. No two ways about it.
But almost 12 months afterwards, the case is at its initial stages at the High Court. The trial is by jury. Ghana's constitution requires all capital punishments to be heard by a 7-member jury and a judge. Under the law, no special expertise is required for one to serve as a juror. Sections 205 of the Criminal Procedure Code reads, "Every person between the ages of 25 and 60 years who is resident in Ghana and can understand the English language shall be liable to serve as a juror." The law provides criteria for when someone may not be qualified to serve as a juror. It includes but not limited to the president and members of the National Assembly, judges, district magistrates, local magistrates, among others. The jury will be expected to return a unanimous verdict on each charge. Where the jury are unable to return a unanimous verdict in a capital offense, or the verdict of the jury is unacceptable by law, the judge must discharge the jury and order a retrial by a fresh jury. It took about a month for the 7-member jury to be empaneled. On April 25, 2018, Chief State Attorney Evelyn Kilson formally opened the state's case against 14 individuals. The accused persons had been captured on tape beating up the soldier. They are William Ban, the assemblyman of Denchro Boase. The others are Bernard Asamoah alias Daddy, Kofi Nyaku aka Abortion, Akwesi Ban, Kwame Tufo, Joseph Apiakubi, Michael Enim, and Bismarck Donko. Others are John Bossi, Akwesi Ban, Charles Quenin, Emmanuel Bedu, Bismarck Abanga, and Kojo Enima. They are facing the charges of murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Chief State Attorney Evelyn Kilson said,
"We will show you the roles of each accused person in the lynching of Major Mahama in the course of this trial."
The defense lawyers also had their say. Judge Bernard Showey's lawyer for 6 of the accused persons said,
"The prosecutor will not be able to show that William Ban, the assemblyman, did intentionally instigate and cause the gang of young men of the town to undertake this act."
The other defense lawyers had this to say,
"They appear before you as individuals. They are in the dock collectively, but look at the evidence individually. You cannot be housebroken if you look at the circumstances of this case, but please look at the evidence. Keep your eyes on that ball."
You should not follow the Ghanaian way of doing things. The media things. Look at the evidence critically.
Ignore talks about mob. They must show how acts by A5 and A6 caused their death. You are not supposed to follow your emotions. You must follow the evidence.
This may seem like good news to those who have called for justice. At least the trial has progressed. 58 persons were arrested and put before a district court by the police as of July 2017. But at start of trial at the High Court in February 2018, the number had whittled down to 14. This meant the case had taken up to 7 months at the lower court. Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu explains why this was necessary.
Of course, the reasons are not hard to hazard because we've not organized the police investigators well. So what happens is that you can have one policeman on one case and then he's called to start another investigation and called to start a third one. So you have one police investigator having several cases at the same time.
The family of the late soldier has attended all court proceedings, hoping the individuals who committed the crime will eventually be brought to book. They are not impressed with the police prosecutors. They keep wondering why many are seen on tape committing the crime, yet only 14 are standing trial. Captain retired Dennis Mahama is father of the late soldier.
According to witnesses or people who watched the video of how the major was killed, they describe it as a mob of over not less than 50 people. Some with stones, some with guns, some with sticks, cudgels, and even others who prevented him from escaping. We believe that they are all accomplices, and our law says that any accomplice to a crime is equally guilty of that crime. So we have been thinking that there shouldn't be not less than 50 people here, because it's the people who are involved in contributing in one way or the other to get him killed are more than 50.
In murder cases, the prosecutors have to ensure the evidence linking the accused is beyond reasonable doubt. Martin Pebu shares this concern. He wants the police to be diligent before making arrests.
It's the model of investigation that we use. You see, so this model is largely British, okay, where the police are in charge of the investigations. It's when they are done that they bring in the state attorneys, okay. So we can reform the prosecution system and make sure that for these cases, not these cases also, I mean general reform, so that we embed state attorneys in the investigation process.
The Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service has been investigating this murder case. The department has a difficult job of ensuring that criminals are cleared off the streets, homes and communities. The department has to work a lot harder to ensure that this painful death of Major Mahama doesn't become like many cold cases on the shelves of the police and the state prosecutor. DCOP Mami Tiwa Dankwa is Director General.
We've also started developing another case tracking system where from arrest to investigation, at every point in time of the investigation, you should be able to track where you are from throughout the country. You should sit in your office and know what is happening in Kumasi, what is happening in other parts of the country. So that at the end of the day, when the case gets to court, then this case tracking project also takes it from there.
Others are still not impressed with such assurances. They believe Ghana's justice system is slow, saddled with a lot of manual processes. There have been stories shared of people who have cases pending for many years with no clear resolution in sight. At the national level, cases such as the trial of Gregory Afoko, the alleged killers of MP JB Dankwa Edu, among others, have been outstanding for at least 2 years. Paolo Galizzi is a professor of law at Fordham University.
What I would say is that unfortunately delays in the delivery of justice are not only a Ghanaian problem. There are problems in delay of delivery of justice everywhere, some more serious than others. I originally come from Italy, for example, and Italy is regularly condemned in the European Court of Human Rights for failing to deliver justice efficiently and speedily on civil cases and others. But let's talk a little bit about the Ghana situation. I think that Ghana can and should do better, and I think is an example of all the stakeholders coming together, first of all recognizing that there is a problem and trying to find solutions to address stakeholders coming together to ensure that people that are accused of a crime, first of all, are presumed innocent. So that until they are convicted by a court, they're supposed to be presumed innocent, and then that the system works speedily to determine whether a person has or has not done what he or she is accused of. So what I would say is that Ghanaians have the right to have justice that is fast, that they deserve.
So far, one witness, the late soldier's deputy, W.O. Sabi Kwesi, has testified against those standing trial. 14 others are expected to be called to take the stand soon. Family of the late soldier are well aware their daily trips to the court may not end anytime soon.
We know that it's very slow and very frustrating, but we have to live with it. So that is why we're always in court. We want to follow the process, however slow it is. All that we want is justice for Major Maxwell Mahama.
Every court day represents another episode of pain. Each day, when the family looks into the eyes of those accused persons, the pictures of the tortured body of Captain Mahama rushes back to their minds, and sometimes it's as if it's the last stone that killed Mahama keeps crushing their already bruised hearts. Here at Idosu Cemetery lies the soldier whose family will forever struggle to forget him. For JoyNews, my name is Joseph Akable.